You argue with that?
Well, a couple of things. I was listening to your promo for this item earlier on. It said, how can the left not get on? And that implies that the right get on. And they don't. Wait till we go back on Wednesday and you'll see skin and hair flying verbally between Leo Varadkar and Micheál Martin. So it's not like the left don't get on and the right do. All of the parties compete with each other all of the time. But we never went into our think tank with the words Sinn Féin on our lips or on our minds. It was the journalist there who asked the question, would we go into coalition with Sinn Féin if they were to go into coalition with Fianna Fáil or Fine Gael? So that was the question we addressed. We said no. We said no, there would be no coalition with Fianna Fáil or Fine Gael because, as Jed Nash has witnessed and as the Green Party have witnessed, when those who espouse a left-wing rhetoric take power with parties of the right, they are contaminated by those right-wing parties and their policies and their ideas, not given the freedom to impose their own. Having said that, we perfectly understand that Sinn Féin's leadership have been, intimating and pushing the idea that they may go in as coalition partners with either Fianna Fáil or Fine Gael, but they have also said that this will come back to a special conference of their members for discussion and for decision. And I would like to appeal to those members, those decent community activists with whom I work every day of the week. And by the way, I work very well with Davy Cullinan. I've been supporting all of his bills on bandit hour contracts and union recognition, all the rest of it. But so I would like to appeal to those activists, do not allow the leadership bring Sinn Féin towards a right-wing drift.
Brid Smith, isn't there a simple reality to all of this? That in order to get into government at any time in the foreseeable future, there's going to have to be a coalition with a significant party in the middle of it, which has a block of 50 or 60 seats in order to make this work. It's not going to happen without one big party. And right now, the only two big blocks of any significant numbers in that area are Fianna Fáil or Fine Gael.
And they should coalesce together because there's hardly a paper-thin size of a difference between them in their policies, despite the fact that they reef each other every day of the week. And that would mean that the left would be a stronger opposition together. And indeed, when the Labour Party had, the Gilmore effect a number of years ago, they didn't even discuss the possibility of working with others on the left. Instead, they went straight into coalition as they've done down through the decades.
David Cullinan,
preparing the ground with our members to consider government.
People before profit, Solidarity and some of the groups on the left, you set a standard of what you want to achieve, and it's that or nothing. That you're not willing to actually enter government, even with someone like Fianna Fáil or Fine Gael, if you could reach agreement on policies issues with them.
Look, I always worry about the collective amnesia of the population of this country and indeed the media. I'm rereading Frank Connolly's book on Tom Gilmartin, and the level of corruption, skullduggery, bribery, threats and outright criminality that Fianna Fáil have been guilty of in the past should never be forgotten. Now, I'm not saying they're guilty of it now, but for Sinn Féin or anybody else or Labour to call themselves left-wing... Let me finish my point.
Labour Party legislation under Brendan
Howlin
took money out of politics.
I didn't interrupt you,
Jed Nash.
I did not interrupt you, Jed. Now, let's be fair. My point being that by breathing life into the likes of Fianna Fáil or Fine Gael and calling yourself a left-wing party does not make proper rhetoric. Now, we are for a left-wing government in this country. We would want to see the left take power and we want to see a left-wing government. But you will not do that by increasingly going into coalitions with the two right-wing blocs.
But you see, there's a fault line.
The best thing you can do in order to undermine the right-wing blocs is to stay out of power and build the left and stop making people cynical about the left and their behaviour in this country.
Is that not an issue, though, that going into government?
Economically, and what I want is an alternative government to Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael. By the way, we do work together in sectoral committees on issues like workers' rights, and we'll continue to do so. Would I want to see that in government? Absolutely.
I'll leave the last word, Brid Smith.
Yes, of course, we will work with anybody who progress the issues that affect working class people and workers' rights, but we don't go with Sinn Féin and Labour when they vote to sell off public lands in council housing estates, for example. So there are problems among the left, and we need to work these out together. But we're absolutely out. They're right-wing. They support the rich and the developers and the builders and the horrible traditions of this country.
I'm afraid,
Brid Smith,
we have to leave it there. Jed Nash of the Labour Party, David Cullinan of Sinn Féin.